Welcome back to another episode of PA Whiskey Guys. I'm Chris.
I'm Jesse.
And Johnny here.
And we got a great episode ahead of us today. We're going to be talking about a few bottles from Wild Turkey. Jesse, you want to hit us with some history?
Yeah. The distillery was originated in 1869 by the Rippey brothers. The name Wild Turkey came in the 1940s when an executive took some warehouse samples on a wild turkey hunting trip. His friends, the guys that were on the trip, his friends loved it so much, they kept asking, bring that Wild Turkey Bourbon, out so they can all try it, And that's how the name Wild Turkey started, from that hunting trip. Over the years, the distillery changed hands a few times. It was purchased by the Gould brothers in 1940, and then by Austin Nichols in 1971, and then finally the Campari Group in 2009. Austin Nichols, I believe, was the first master distiller of Wild Turkey back then. And now the Russell family is the distillers there. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty unique stuff that they have.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to hear how it all came to be of taking that whiskey on a turkey hunting trip.
Yeah, I heard this story.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting. It's funny. They didn't have a name for it. Then I don't know, going back when, it doesn't say what the distillery was called back then either.
Right.
From what I'm looking at here, but yeah, Wild Turkey from an actual Wild Turkey trip. It's pretty interesting.
No doubt. Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of the production process now. So the ingredients in the Wild Turkey, pretty much a corn-forward mash bill, along with using rye and malted barley. On the distillation side of things, usually distilled to a lower proof than many of the other bourbons out there, which results in more of a richer flavor with less heat. On the aging side with Wild Turkey, they age in new charred oak barrels, often referred as number 4 alligator char, due to the deep grooves resembling an alligator skin. And then the aging process varies from 4 to 8 years. And a little more information, they use a proprietary yeast strain that contributes to which it does have a very unique flavor.
Yeah, a lot of people say, if they're doing a review on Wild Turkey, they say the Wild Turkey Funk.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, a lot of different people that I've ever listened to, podcast wise, they always say Wild Turkey Funk, and they can pick it out usually, Yeah. I don't get it. I guess I haven't tried enough of them, so.
I mean, me personally, it always had more of like I don't want to say bitter, but more of like a soury, sweet and sour type of aroma.
Yeah, it gets your taste buds. Yeah. It'll, I get that, yeah. It does kind of do that,
I haven't drank enough of it to know, so.
No, I mean, these ones really...
Time to get on it.
These ones that we're doing today, I mean, you probably had one, you don't really remember it, because we had a couple other ones that night.
Yeah.
But these are some pretty good ones. They make... a lot of people don't know this. Wild Turkey 101, they make a regular Wild Turkey. Proof, I believe, is 80 proof. 101 is 101 proof. They make a rye 101. They actually make American honey. People probably didn't know that.
I have had that one.
Yeah, Wild Turkey American honey. That's a little, obviously, a sweeter and different thing. Mm-hmm. Rare breed, which is one of them that we have for tonight. And they also make Russell's Reserve, which are more, the 13 and the 15, they're high end. They're very, very hard to find. Russell's 10 should be everywhere, which is also another quality product, But, yeah.
I see the 10 everywhere. I don't really see the 6 or 13 or 15.
No.
The 10 everywhere. The 6, you would think you would see the 6 everywhere, but...
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's about Russell's. But.
Yeah.
The master distillers over there are Jimmy Russell, hired in 1967. Jimmy Russell was one of the longest-serving master distillers in the industry. He introduced many of the practices that define Wild Turkey's flavor profile today. And then his son, Eddie Russell, joined the distillery and now serves as the associate master distiller.
Yeah, and Eddie's son Bruce is also he's an associate master distiller now too.
Okay.
He's slowly taking over. Well, I don't want to say taking over, but he's learning the whole business there.
Getting integrated in.
Yeah, And Jimmy, he just celebrated his 90th birthday, I believe.
Wow.
And he sits in the distillery sometimes and signs bottles for everybody that comes in and purchases. It's pretty neat. You know? Hopefully, if we ever get there, he's there. That'd be pretty interesting.
No doubt about it.
Ooh, that was my knuckle.
So a little, diving more back into the history, with Wild Turkey. So the interesting fact, there was a warehouse fire in 2000, which the fire destroyed a 7-story aging warehouse, leading to, loss of whiskey, which equated to about 17,000 barrels. Unfortunately, there was also some environmental damage, to the Kentucky River with the fire and the destroyed whiskey, and that temporarily shut down a local water treatment plant. Wild Turkey, to help with the cleanup and everything and restore, the native fish population in the river, wound up paying $256,000, for the towards the recovery efforts.
Oof, that's a hefty bill.
Yeah, it was a big ordeal. There's a lot of news stories on it way back when.
17,000 barrels. What was the recent fire that was? That was a collapse.
That was Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
the
okay.
warehouse collapse.
Yeah.
It was about the same amount of barrels, I think, right? I think 17,000, 19,000.
Wow.
I think that's what that news story said. Yeah, that was only a couple weeks ago.
Right. So we're going to move into the, the practices that are utilized, at Wild Turkey. So they do use a sour mash process, which in that mash they use some of the previously fermented mash, and then it's mixed in with the newer mash before the fermentation period. This helps to, maintain a more level and consistent profile in the whiskey.
And that's weird. They're not advertising it as a sour mash either, though.
Correct.
Because, you'll see the ones that Michter's advertises as a sour mash.
Yeah, Jack Daniels.
But theirs is just naturally sour. So I wonder if that adds to that funk as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the funk.
Not to confuse it with an actual sour taste.
Yeah, I didn't know that was part of the process. I never, I don't know the history, obviously, of these guys really. But it's interesting for sure.
And then at Wild Turkey, they use a seasonal aging process. So the barrels are aged in rick houses, which are exposed to all 4 seasons throughout the year, which in turn adds to the complexity of the whiskeys as it interacts, with the wood and different temperature variances.
Yeah, with them not being climate controlled.
Right. Which is a cool concept to, let Mother Nature do her things and, work the whiskey in the barrel.
Yeah. Every distillery does it differently, clearly, they have to. You have to be unique, You don't want to make the same stuff as the distillery down the road,
Yeah, exactly.
So they have to find their ways of doing stuff.
All right. So what we're digging into today, what's this first bottle is going to be a Wild Turkey Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary 8-year-old.
Just came out in 2024.
101 proof. Right. This is the one that we had at my house.
Yeah, at Christmas time.
Yep.
We tried it, a little bit of it and stuff. But it was popular here in PA. It was on the shelves, and then it disappeared pretty fast.
Yeah, once word spread, it was
it
was here and gone pretty quick.
There's a couple. We heard some couple stores close to us that might have it still, but I haven't been out to check.
Yeah.
Hanging on to what I got.
We're looking at the mash bill of 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. That seems like to be their normal almost. Well, with what we see here,
right?
What we're going to be drinking, This is aged primarily 8-year-old bourbon, with an additional blend of 8 to 9-year-old whiskeys, and it appears to be a bright amber color. Go ahead and give us a
when they distilled this, they Jimmy Russell didn't even know they did it for him. I think there's a story behind it that he had no idea they did it, and he was very happy with it. And, when it came out. So,
well, definitely nose and caramel, and an oak.
Yes, caramel and oak.
Yeah,
it's got a little bit of spice.
Yeah,
I get the spice. I get the spice a little bit.
I think I've been on an orange kick lately. I've been eating a lot of oranges.
Yeah.
And those little halos. I get the brine from a halo, or the rind from when you peel it.
Okay, yeah.
I get that on the maybe I've just had too many. But definitely knows it a little halo
Very
orange
creamy,
peel.
caramely, vanilla notes. That definitely hits pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's waking me up today. It's the first sip of the day for me. It's
a nice, thick, complex whiskey.
Yeah, well-rounded.
Right.
Well balanced. I definitely get the spices on that.
Right, spice, very vanilla, caramel type of profile going on up front. Definitely has a long finish. Like even after taking a sip, hitting your palate. I mean, it definitely has a nice, nice lingering flavor to it. Doing a little slurring already, and I just got started here.
And this is the lower proof of the day.
Yeah, the spice is getting me today.
Yeah.
Getting me in the back of the throat. The spice.
I think that's what's lingering around the most is that spiciness.
It definitely has a little bit of, that Kentucky hug. That not a lot of heat, but it has a nice subtle heat that lingers.
No, it's very tasty.
Yeah, I'm getting
Very
like fruitiness. I can't pick it out what it is, but I get like fruit, citrus. I mean, more fruit than same thing, I guess. But it's pretty good. I like this one.
And on this bottle here, I mean, naturally limited edition to commemorate 70 years of Jimmy Russell. Price point was right around $50, I believe, on this, right?
Yeah.
So besides,
I think it was right at 50.
Yeah,
51 maybe when it came out.
I mean, besides it being a limited run, like we mentioned earlier, there is supposedly still some floating around in PA, and I'm not sure about out of state. But if you guys come across this in your travels, I think we're all on the same page here. It's definitely worth the pickup.
Yeah. People were going crazy over it, like we said, and it's I was cherishing it for a while because I knew we didn't have any. Where I got it.
Yeah, it's definitely a must try though, especially with its reasonable price point for the tribute to the legendary figure.
I think they're going to. I mean, there's rumors floating around the internet as to continuing the regular Wild Turkey is going to be 8-year age stated all from here on out.
Okay.
The second one that we're going to do tonight, we're going to get into in just a couple minutes here, is Kentucky Spirit, which kind of sheds some light on the story that Kentucky Spirit is going to be an international only purchase now.
Yeah.
So they're kind of going to pull it off the shelves and all that stuff, and then I think they said that the regular Wild Turkey is going to be 8-year-old, which is pretty cool.
Right. That'd be good.
Price point, it's like I said, regular Wild Turkey 101. We don't have it. A lot of people say it's a go-to. It's an everyday sipper, mixer or whatever. A lot of people like it. It's for $27, I think it is.
Right.
It's
very
you can't go wrong.
reasonable price point on it.
All right, so with this being the Wild Turkey Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary, 8-year-old, I'm definitely giving it a thumbs up.
Same here, thumbs up.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up for sure.
Between price, nose, palate, I mean, it's well-rounded.
Yeah.
Right, definitely.
I'd say it puts it up there with some of the better ones we've had so far.
Yeah, and definitely for a reasonably priced bottle, it's got a lot going on, and it's very consistent and flavorful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Wild Turkey is like, it's your grandfather's bourbon when we were
Right,
younger,
yes.
And it's something you don't think that you'd ever want to drink because, the older fellas drank it at the old hunting cabin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I tried it within reason for probably only the last couple of years, and it's good stuff. Like, you never think. You just got to try the things, It's especially the next one. Like I said, we have 3 of them here.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into that one then, right?
Yeah.
So this next bottle is going to be Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit Single Barrel. This one comes in at 101 proof as well. A similar mash bill. Actually, I think it's the same mash
They
bill.
only use one mash bill.
Oh, okay, so it's the
Wild
same.
Turkey only uses one mash bill.
So that's 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. The aging on this one is 8.5 to 9.5 years. So, and it comes in at a bright amber color as well.
This one is, what's this going for in the stores? This is not a PA. This is not
right,
from PA.
yes,
This is not a state one. PA, I don't believe, even gets this at all.
No, this was out of Delaware. So I believe at the time it was around mid to high 60s, which now it might be a little more than that. I've come across it in Maryland at about low $70 mark.
Yeah. I don't know what the MSRP is. I think
I'll cheat here
$55.
and look it up real quick.
Yeah.
I just added a bottle to my collection as well when I was down in North Carolina.
So like we mentioned earlier, I mean, similar mash bill to the 70th anniversary. On this one here, the age, we're looking at 8.5 to 9.5 years. So overall, aged pretty well. Mm-hmm. On the nose.
Yeah, when I cheated again, this is $65 MSRP.
Okay, so that's pretty
yeah.
reasonable. Yeah, not too bad.
I forget honestly what I paid when I was down there. Yeah, but they're a controlled state as well, so I'm going to assume
Yeah, you'll
it
be
was,
paid. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a
around the
couple
same.
dollars above what they're suggesting,
Right, yeah,
whatever. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I mean, even PA does that sometimes. And,
Right.
We've seen stuff below. I've
Yeah.
gotten stuff below,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know, crazy sometimes. Depending on what it is.
I get that. I get a sweet, man. I want to almost say a brown sugar, but definitely a sweetness off the top.
This definitely has a crazy flavorful nose to it.
No, I've never had this one before, so this is completely.
This is a good one.
I'm getting the
Clove, some spice, some vanilla aroma to it on the nose.
I'm cheating here as well, looking at the flavor profile, as they say, the nose, and I get the spice, which they mentioned rye. I get earthiness, like a little earthiness,
bit, yeah.
which is I guess is that the tobacco and the leather part of it.
Stemming from the other ryes that we've had, I do get a similar nose on that.
Right, yeah.
There's no citrus, no fruit, no fruit, anything like that.
And I got to say, I mean, looking at our cheat sheet here a little bit, they mentioned notes of toffee, which, reading it, it's definitely there, on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't pick that up.
I'm not getting it either.
No? Okay.
The sweetness part of it, I would
That's
buy
what I
that.
think it is.
The
It's
sweetness
more the
part of
sweetness
it,
then. Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure I know what toffee smells like, I know it's like...
The reason why toffee, I get the Wegmans chocolate bars with the toffee.
Oh, there you go. I've had it. I can't picture it, though. It's usually when it's in candy. It's
Right,
mixed
yeah.
with milk chocolate and it's sweet or whatever, but I am getting a little bit of sweetness on the nose still,
Off the taste of that, so we talked, I think, last week about that buttery
Yes.
taste on
Right.
off on the palate on this. It's buttery up front.
Oh, it's so damn good, though.
Up front buttery.
This is a good one.
I almost want to say like a Heath bar. If that.
Well, there's your toffee.
There's your toffee.
There's your toffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, see, I didn't even know that was toffee.
Yeah, very creamy. It's flavorful. It's got the spice going on there, but I mean, just a good whiskey.
That is.
We're gonna have to go out and hunt down a case of this because
Yeah.
definitely gonna need some backups for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah. If anybody sees this in their travels out of state, stop and grab one. It's 100% worth it. It's damn good stuff.
It's just that butter.
Yeah, it's
Butter
smooth.
cream, like
I'm not even gonna
it's.
say that word.
Huh?
It is buttery, creamy. Reminds me of good old Chardonnay.
Ooh.
And this definitely does have a long finish. It's not as intense.
No,
As the 70th?
The spice on
Right.
the 70th was getting me pretty good. and usually that doesn't typically get me. You know?
Like Chris was mentioning though, like that buttery toffee type of thing going on the on the palate. Whew,
this is good.
It's a hitter.
Yeah, it's very tasty.
And so again, I mean, at $65, I mean, hey, if you see it, I mean,
this
can't
drinks
pass on this one.
very well for its
I
price.
feel like I say you can't pass on all of them. But, I think there was one I did disagree with that we've had so far. I think it was one of the makers. So I can't say I liked them all. But out of these,
Taste
man,
is subjective. That's it.
yeah.
The bottle, actually, on the label in the bottle, it has all the stats, like the barrel number, because this is a single barrel. I don't know if we mentioned that.
No, we did not get into that yet.
It is a single barrel, what warehouse it was stored in, the RIC number. So, I know, Chris, you said you have a bottle, and obviously it's probably going to be different. And not for nothing, eventually, once your bottle, you open it, and provided this one lasts here, we can do a side-by-side. I wonder if there's a taste difference. You know? There should be, a little bit.
Yeah, because they hand-pick these barrels.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, because the one I have was out of Maryland. I know this one from your stash is from Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine's from North Carolina. So. And that I got this year, so just...
Yeah, this was bottled. I was looking at this. This one was bottled on 2/21/24. So literally yesterday. It's a year old from when it was bottled. So...
And, looking at our little cheat sheet here, I'm going to look into the history a little bit here. So this was first released in 1994, which is one of the earliest single barrel bourbons on the market following Blanton's, which is, a pretty neat fact.
When was it? When was the date?
1994.
94. It's 10 years.
Yeah, 10
Blanton's
years.
was 84.
So we'd like to hear, some feedback from you guys out there. If you're Blanton's fans and, you do have a chance to either currently have this bottle, the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit in your cabinet or in the hunt, give us some feedback, how you compare this, to Blanton's.
That's interesting. That'd be an interesting blind taste. I mean, I would probably pick this hands down, I don't know.
Not that we're just conveying our thoughts on taste. That's
it's all about your own palate, your own likes. Everybody's hits differently.
Yeah, I think most people would like this one for sure, though. Unless you really don't like the proof, Again, if you're a beginner, proof might get you a little bit, But
I feel though this wasn't even that proofy. You don't get that
coming in at 101. It's not.
You don't get hit. You don't get hit in the back of the throat with it.
No.
Your tongue's not on fire.
Nope. As I'm still sipping on it or whatever, I'm getting like honey on the finish now.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely a nice little honey finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say this bottle could get you into trouble.
Yeah, you could do some damage on this one.
It's an easy sipper. I mean, not that we take very, very generous pours while we're on here with you guys today, but could easily follow up with another pour of this one.
That last sip was taken with the pinky out, so
Yeah.
that was good.
There you go.
That's good. All right, so final thoughts on this one's right? Thumbs up.
2 thumbs up here.
Again,
Yeah.
And like we mentioned earlier, so this is going to be unfortunately going to, like the international market only. So, at the end of the day, I mean, it's everybody's call. But if you do run into this, it's definitely worth picking up 1 or 2 to keep in the cabinet.
I wonder how they make that decision or why they do that.
It's crazy, especially something that's such a good pour.
Yeah.
They must have something up their sleeves,
Yeah.
I know, like we said, we mentioned the other things that they make or whatever, and the Russell's stuff, I have a feeling is going to be something that they're going to push, maybe different varieties of it. That's my opinion. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like that they're...
Well, that's it at the end of the day. I mean, there is, always going to be like a marketing element that's involved. And
not for nothing. How do we know? I mean, does this sell? We don't... I mean, I'm sure it does, but maybe they don't sell enough of it, It's also not available everywhere, so...
It's funny, too, with the Russell's. It seems like Russell's is more of a popular brand coming from Wild Turkey than Wild Turkey itself anymore.
right,
Yeah. This was distillery only, wasn't it, for a while? Potentially, or Kentucky only?
I believe so, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it was, but
because even I've only seen it, in the out-of-state arena, maybe the last this was probably 3 or 4 years ago I grabbed my bottle. So it's very recently that I've only seen it out there in the, in my travels.
All right. So let's move on to bottle number 3. It's going to be the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. This is also a barrel proof, and it comes in at 116.8 proof.
So definitely a little hotter than the previous two.
And like we discussed, same mash bill. So 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. And it is a blend of bourbons aged 6 to 12 years. And it has a dark amber color.
Yeah, this is definitely the darkest out of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first two were pretty close in color for sure.
So as we nose this a little bit.
It's definitely, there's the oaky notes going on there. Kind of honey, caramel. And I'm seeing in our, in our cheat sheet notes here, banana. I'm not getting any banana though.
No, again, I get that a brown sugar.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm getting that more in this one than
That's definitely
more in this one than the other two for sure.
Yeah,
I didn't even get it in the 70th. I didn't get any caramel or anything like that. This bottle, I've had this it's been open for well over a year.
Okay.
Kind of got lost on the shelf, so it's been popped. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that does anything. I mean, it does a little bit, but
It's always nice with these barrel proofs, though, with the cask strength.
Right.
Is getting what's coming out of the barrel. They're not.
usually
It's
more
not diluted
complex.
any.
You get that flavor. It should have, if you never had this, Chris, right?
No.
This
one's
should be
another
really
one.
complex, like more flavor probably.
Same thing. I have another unopened bottle. I don't even know. I bought another one of these down in North Carolina. I want to say it was roughly same price point. I think 59, 60.
Yeah, similar, right?
This is available here in PA.
Right.
It's pretty available. Sometimes it goes out of stock in your smaller stores or whatever, but it's usually around.
Damn.
Tell you what,
It's a little spicier than the last one,
definitely some heat.
but you get that same creamy,
Right.
that butter cream kind
Yep.
of profile in that.
And I haven't had this much. I mean, I believe this is only the 3rd or 4th time I've had this. And it's always a bottle that I've overlooked. I got to say, like, getting back to your comment, Jesse, like it being, your grandpa's whiskey, that it just never really resonated to grab it. And then especially for a little, a few more bucks a bottle in that, $45 to $50 price range, I always look past it. But I'll tell you, I mean, it is a good pour.
Yeah, I looked past it a bunch of times, and this is again when I got it. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it.
Right.
I mean, I'll
see what happens. Roll the dice.
Yeah, I'm never gonna do a little drain pour like as some
Right.
people
Oh,
would
yeah.
suggest on certain whiskeys, whatever. And I'll force myself to like it. If I didn't like it, I got within reason, but it's something that you're always gonna have something I'll always have on the shelf. That's for sure. I like it.
Oh, on the after sip chew on that one, I definitely get the same, not an orange peel, but that citrus.
Yeah, like candied
the citrus
fruit.
brine kind of.
Yeah.
That is, and that one lingers a little bit longer than the last.
This is a nice chewy pour. I mean, it's just got a...
It's thick.
Yeah, it's
Definitely
thick.
thick.
I mean, it hangs around on your palate, which is nice. I mean, the flavor just keeps going.
This I could pair very well with a cigar in the
definitely,
summertime.
No, too bad it wasn't in the 20s today.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
So, yeah, overall on the palate, I mean, we're getting a lot of caramel notes, vanilla. Mm-hmm. There was some spice there, from the rye.
I'm getting more spice on this one versus the Kentucky Spirit for sure.
Yeah, definitely
has a little
more
more
spice on in that one.
I'm getting the proof, I guess. That may be the proof that I'm getting.
But I tell you what, like I wouldn't want anybody to be intimidated by the proof of this, to not want to try it if they like lower proofs, because this is still not hitting like a higher proof whiskey.
I've had 90 proof bottles that have more heat than this does.
They're a little harsher, definitely.
116.
116.
I almost want to say that comes from age. So you're looking at 6 to 12.
Very, very nice. It's a nice whiskey.
I've had those bottle and bonds. Bottle and bonds sometimes are are heavier hitters.
Right, a little more heat.
So, and they're 4 years or more,
Correct.
at least 4 years. So, I think the age has a lot to do with it. You know, a nice blend there.
Right.
And that's like you guys were saying. Another one that each bottle is going to differ because of the blends they're doing.
Right.
So.
And I gotta say, this is definitely a sleeper for me. I mean, it's one that I've seen, but I mean, you know, having it again and revisiting it's a very good pour.
And this was first released in 1991, and is one of the longest running barrel proof bourbons on the market. So.
Wow.
Nice little fact.
They do make a rye. We should try and get the rye one of these days. You know.
That's when we saw that one.
Yeah.
And I opted to not get it, but I wish I did now.
I just seen it this past week too, and just passed on by. Well, next episode or down the road, maybe we could we'll circle back to doing the rare breed rye.
I just say a lot of ryes in general.
Taking over
now. Yep.
They're taking over. Yeah, a lot of people are into them. I don't mind them.
No.
Which I know we're on Wild Turkey here, but I just happened to see in PA the Ponfay rye, which is a Western PA whiskey.
Oh, it's distilled out there?
Yeah, distilled Ponfay.
Nice.
So maybe that'll be something to to look into for an episode. You know, doing some. You know, we did the Michter's, which in its early days was a PA based distillery, but to look around and see.
Do one strictly on PA distilled ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So overall, I mean, the rare breed here is. What do you guys think?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I'm gonna say double thumbs up on the Kentucky Spirit, and I'm gonna say thumbs up on the rare breed and the 70th anniversary.
Man, all very, very good pours.
If I had to put them in order, it would definitely be that Kentucky Spirit. Just that buttery taste on the front.
Yeah, it's got something, that little extra special something going on there.
That a little extra kick to get it in front, and then
that's my order too.
Yeah.
I want the Kentucky Spirit, the rare breed, and the 70th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it's still that 70th was very good, but I'm gonna have to put these other two ahead.
Yeah.
Just that the little creamier, butterier. I'm gonna say that toffee then because that Heath bar is
right.
Yeah.
That candy.
Right.
And that's to me. I have a terrible sweet tooth, so these hit me very well. I like these a lot. So, all right. So that was the Jimmy's Russell's 70th anniversary. That was an 8-year-old Kentucky Spirit, single barrel, and then the rare breed barrel strength or barrel proof. So all in all, last thoughts. I think they're good.
Right
Go
across
get them
the
if
board.
you can find them.
Yep.
Again, that Kentucky Spirit's going to be fading away, going internationally only. That's a single barrel. Rare breeds out there to find, and then the 70th anniversary. You guys said is
that might be around. I think that they're gonna release it again.
Yeah, because it seems like they had a really good response from that.
Yeah. That one might be around for a while.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end the episode here. Then John's got some other whiskeys we're gonna try, but that's not gonna be on here. So you guys will just have to stick around and see what happened later on. So again, I'm Chris.
I'm Jesse.
And Johnny here.
And we'll catch you with the cork out.